First of all, why don't we do this? Why don't we welcome our two newest members here to the group? We have Scott and Felipe to our circle. Yeah. So welcome, guys. Go ahead. What was that?
They are going to be an asset to our group, I believe. They're on fire. They got their stuff up and ready, and I'm excited to see some things happen for them. I think we'll have some them sharing some deals very soon.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Also, it's kind of interesting. I remember when I was talking to I first started talking to Scott, and he was kind of like scouring, the internet, looking all around for, someone that could really hold them accountable to getting deals done. And he actually knew you and only heard about me through like whatever the grapevine, but we connected, and he said he just heard some good stuff about you. He's like, oh yeah, that Mike guy, he's all right. He's a good guy.
That's a first. I'm known and you're not.
Yeah. See, that's what happens. Things are starting to change, Mike. The winds are starting to change. Yeah. So no, but it was really cool because he was talking very highly about you and said, hey, you know what? I want to start working with Mike more closely and seeing what that's kind of like what a lot of people actually come to us for, is because when they get stuck or they get hung up on a situation. And you know what? Sometimes it's kind of unique, Mike, because sometimes we have people that are like just getting started. They don't know what to do, and then we have some people who have been doing the business but need a few little tweaks, and all of a sudden it just like takes off, right? It's like, oh, okay, don't do this, do that little thing, and then all of a sudden it gets better. You agree?
I totally agree. And Scott Felipe is those. Our first call, I remember. I don't know what I was thinking. I knew that they had some stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I try to make notes before a call or whatever. And I've got the basics, do you have an LLC? Do you have a business address? Yeah. How you taking calls? Where you getting your live? Where you want to? And I'm starting to rattle these questions, and they're like, wait a minute. We've already done a list. We've already marked. We're making all. I said, oh, great. This is great.
Yeah.
Because we can jump like way ahead now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's cool though to get people at different stages, and wherever they are, take them to where they want to go or see their business grow. We've seen a lot of people's business grow of all years this year, which is really,
I know.
I mean, it's amazing.
I know. Isn't that crazy? Because those stories of like people you hear about from 2008, like, oh, I went through the crash, but I came out really successful. That's kind of like how I hear stories are going right now. Like, oh, I lost my job, or I had to close up shop, or I'm pivoting to something new. And now I'm doing this, and I'm doing it way better than I ever thought. I think COVID has pushed some people against the wall to say, hey, it's now or never. And I also feel like it's said, hey, you know what? I really need to get down and dirty into the business that I've always wanted to be in. I really got to look at this real estate investing stuff on a more serious scale, rather than just, gleaming over it, or make it instead of a hobby, make it into a business. What do you think?
I agree. I think it's really forced people to get out of their comfort zone, otherwise that they would never have gotten out of. I know it has a couple of our students. It's forced them to say, well, I got to do this. This is it. Now is the time. And you do it. And I tell you, Nathan, when I talk to other people in different business sectors that's not in real estate, and I hear some stories of business down here, business down there. I'm like, and then they ask me how my business is. It's like, I'm embarrassed to say, this is probably gonna be a record year. I feel almost bad sometimes that not to the point that I want to slow my business down.
No, right.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
People don't expect your business to be thriving.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of people just have this expectation that, right now, because of COVID, shut down, lockdown, right? That means for everything. But the beautiful part about our industry and what we're doing is we've just seen like a steady incline, just constantly growing and growing. And the good thing about that is that it's made an impact. Rather than constricting, it's just growing. And that's a great sign. It really is on all levels of real estate. Some strategies busier than others, right? More competitive than others. But it's definitely bringing up some things, helping people out, changing their lives, changing their careers. But during that process, Mike, I want us to cover something that's really important, and it helps a lot of people, even though they're having success, they can also face some challenges along the way. That's only realistic. And some of those challenges are how we deal with what we call, I guess the topic of today's show would be flagging. And flagging on multiple platforms, such as that could be from Zillow. Most people know flagging from Craigslist or Facebook ads. The whole flagging thing that comes up pretty regularly. So I want us to kind of pick these apart one at a time. I think we'll start off with Zillow. What do you think about that? Since you're wearing blue today.
Yeah, Zillow. And I actually dealt with Zillow today.
Oh, did you?
And I got a property through after talking to a live person.
Oh, you did?
So it can be done. I'm living proof it can be done.
Oh, my God.
So, as ironic as it is, and that was after I sent you the email today.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. That is really cool. My experience with Zillow, multiple properties, has always been, maybe it's the way I answer the phone. I'm not sure. But it was literally not good, and I haven't really been able to get anything through Zillow. And that's been a little while. I should try again. So what's been your experience with Zillow? Maybe, some that haven't gone through and some that obviously that have gone through today.
Well, a couple things. When you list a property on Zillow, you're probably going to get a call within 5 minutes of doing it. So have your listing there, because I'm so bad about it. I'll take down the listing, and they won't typically, 9 times out of 10, the 2 questions are, what's the zip code of your property?
Yeah.
Which I never remember unless it's in front of me.
Yeah.
And what do you have it priced at?
Yeah.
And sadly enough, sometimes I forget that too. So, but those are 2 questions, and I'm try to have it now right there when they call.
Okay.
Usually they'll say, thank you, we're going to review from that. And a lot of times they'll pop up. Not all the time. Like I had a text message from them, said, call us within 24 hours to confirm the rest of this listing. They had okayed it on automation.
Yeah.
I called, and he asked what the zip code was, how much it was.
Yeah.
And I think he asked, maybe I misunderstood who the owner was. Maybe he said who was in charge. And a little facetious there.
Okay.
But anyway, I answered yes.
Okay.
I
am in charge.
as the property. And he said, great, it'll be up within 24 hours. And it was up in 24 minutes.
Wow.
But there's a thing that I do also. I don't put my whole ad up first like I used to.
You've talked about this before, and especially in the members area, you brought this up about a strategy of condensing the ad, reducing it. So what's that strategy that you typically do for this?
So I put up about 2 generic pictures of the property.
Okay.
Just so I have a property. And I put about 3 generic lines: property for sale, great mountain property, contact us today. Just something very general like that.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the in-depth write-ups that we do. And then that's when I go into the process of it being validated. Once I'm okay, like my ad now is approved, I need to make a note. I need to go in there now, put in my other 15 or so photos, and completely write my complete ad out, which it's already written out. So copy and paste it in there.
Yeah, so it sounds like you write up the small ad. I want to make sure I understand you correctly. You write up the smaller condensed ad just to get it approved, just to get it in. And then once it's approved and in, then you go back and just update the ad, because there isn't no robot, no follow-up, no robot going back behind you saying, oh, you updated, changed your ad, we got to reapprove it. Does that sound about right?
Exactly. They don't have that aspect of it. which is great.
Yeah.
And that way it doesn't create any confusion. Keep it simple for them to approve it, then get in, run your in-depth ad, and you should be good.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the biggest thing I love about Zillow is, you can see how many views you've had, how many people saves it. But if you do those small steps, you really won't have a big problem. If for some reason it doesn't appear after so long,
Mm-hmm.
there is a customer service number that you can call them, and they're pretty good. I mean, I've never had any real bad experiences with them. They're typically pretty good in working it out and getting it up.
Okay. Yeah, that's really good. Definitely not the same kind of experience like with Craigslist. I mean, it's interesting how these people actually have, Zillow has people calling you specifically, right? They're going to verify things. Very different with Craigslist, and I know I have a good background with this one. I mean, I'll tell you one of the biggest things I learned, not just from doing Craigslist outside of a state, but when I moved to Uganda and I was doing posts, man, I felt Craigslist's wrath on a whole nother level, right? I felt like I was the VA, right? I was like, what is going on? And that caused a huge problem in my business. What's been your experience with Craigslist ads?
I have a love-hate relationship with Craigslist. Out of the top 3 places we talk about marketing, they're probably on my bottom. I mean, obviously they've been around for a long time. They're doing something right.
Right.
But another thing with Craigslist, not only you got to worry about Craigslist flagging you, occasionally, this doesn't happen a lot, but it will happen. It can happen. If you put an ad up, I can flag your ad.
Really?
And have it taken down. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So if you're my competition,
you go in the yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Which is a little scary. Doesn't happen a lot, but I have seen it happen to people before.
Right. It's like your other people will go to other people's ads and then start clicking on it just because.
Yeah, just because they'll flag it out, and that way it's not showing. There's a couple different things you can do to keep from getting flagged. Obviously, Craigslist wants you to be like the backyard person selling something, the yard sale person. But once you put a Craigslist ad up, there's things you can do. You can go in and open the ad itself from a different avenue, not directly from your logged in site, but log out and go in and try to click on it and get it up. Because it's about getting the views up on it.
Right. Okay.
And another thing with Craigslist, you don't really want to have a whole lot of ads on one account. You have to have multiple accounts.
True.
Which is fine. You can funnel them all to go to forward to one email.
Yeah.
But things like that is a little aggravating.
Yeah, it's very true. I'll tell you what. I think luckily I still have some hair under here, but I'll tell you what. I remember back in when 2014 is really kind of when I stepped. I took from 2013 to 2014. I took some time out. Get married and stuff. But when I stepped back in 2014 doing more remote real estate, I started experiencing this, and I had to find a different solution because I was using about, I think, 4 emails at the highest point. I was using 4 different emails to post in Craigslist, and it was like, whoa, this is like, you got emails over there, got emails over there. It was just, the stuff was going everywhere until I found a service provider called Task Bullet. Now, I know we've talked about them before, and some people are using them in our group, our private group. And to me, that's been the best solution because they actually have a VA inside of the United States that makes it. Well, at least they say they do. I mean, I don't know. It looks like
they got it figured out.
They got it figured out. Yeah, they definitely got it figured out because there is nothing. Like, there's no issues. There's leads that come in and consistently. And we just have them post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the following Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, or something like that. I forget what it is, but we rotate every other week. It is like a set schedule. It's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It rotates every other week. And then... And that's what we've been doing for quite some time. But yeah, we've been using Task Bullet. We really like them. I can probably post that in the comment section, but they're one of the service providers that we found that doesn't get flagged when we're geographically not in the same area. That tends to be a huge issue.
Well, another thing you bring up, a really good point about using somebody like that, especially for Craigslist, is you set it, so to speak, set it and forget it.
Yeah.
You give them that or whatever, they run with it, and you don't have to do anything with it.
Right.
You don't have to remember, I need to update this or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
It's handled.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, the delegation is on point. For especially with Task Bullet, I know sometimes searching for a VA can be really a difficult thing for some people. They just have a hard time finding that right person. The good thing is, and my recommendation would be, if you find a service provider or a freelancer, a virtual assistant that is going to do this stuff for you, make sure they're already doing it for other people. Make sure you're not the first one, because if you're the first one, it's probably not going to go so well. It's probably not going to go so well. Oh, man. All right, let's transition into another one. You have a heck of a lot more experience with this than I do, and that's another blue website called Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, that's the theme today.
That's the theme.
Yeah, I do like Facebook Marketplace. They, too, can be very quirky. Listen, if you get the thing, this goes against our policies.
Yeah.
And they say you can click this and maybe get an answer. Listen, Congress don't get an answer out of Mark Zuckerberg. You're not going to get an answer.
That's true.
Just delete it, tweak it, and repost it. I did that this week on one.
Really?
I had I did the ad. Man, get this thing. It goes against the values. So I took out one thing, Nathan. I took out, it was an area where I had the word bears in there. And I was talking about bear statues. And I took that out. And you know what?
It went through.
It went through?
Yeah, animals.
They're weird about animals. They're weird about fishing. You got to get, I had a student actually told me this. Instead of saying fishing, you're angling or lake activities.
Yeah.
I had a property one time that was an equestrian property, so I put a picture of a horse in front of the equestrian center.
Can't do it.
And you would have thought I was trying to, sell the horse to a slaughterhouse or something. It's like it's a freaking equestrian. They go together.
Yeah.
But and then other times it may get through. So their formulas or whatever are a little weird.
Yeah, and definitely not human. There was no human interaction. You've never got a phone call from Facebook.
No, I don't even think there's a phone line into Facebook. There's people work there. I've seen them. There's a Facebook place not too far from our house, but I don't think they have any phone lines in there.
Yeah. Wait, there's a Facebook headquarters in your...
There's a big, it's about 35 minutes from my house. It's one of their data centers.
Oh, one of their data centers. Oh, wow.
But you talk about high security stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, it's big.
There's no doubt. I'll tell you what, data centers, I got two buddies of mine who are in the one ISP space, and the other one is in data centers, they're both in the facilities, but they slightly different avenues. And I'll tell you what, the security on those buildings is on another level. Not just outside, not patrol, but even on the inside. It takes 6 levels. You have to go through 6 points of security to get in. And now they're using biometrics on most of them. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive stuff. But yeah, it's really important. I mean, for all companies, whether it's any cloud company, whether it's, Apple, Google, or Facebook, any data company, especially right now, we're hearing with the deal with Oracle and Walmart went down to buy TikTok, right? Again, more security, making sure people's data is safe and not being, honestly, the fact that Walmart came in as a buyer for TikTok just tells me that your data is not safe in the U.S.
Exactly.
I was like, oh, there you go. The largest United States retailer is about to get a hold, other than Amazon, is about to get a hold of all your data inside your home. And they needed something. I'll tell you what. Anyway, I digress. I'm going off in a tangent here. But going back to the Facebook Marketplace and getting flagged, let's talk a little bit about that. Because there's not a specific like place to put houses and land and commercial real estate. So where is it going these days? And how is that getting posted, or are you seeing the same level of traction these days?
For my land stuff, it goes under miscellaneous.
Okay.
And there for a while, when they first changed it up, it took a little bit to get folks to find it, but now they're finding it fine there.
Okay.
I guess the keyword land is, I always put something in my ad that identifies that it's vacant land or a lot or something like that.
Okay.
If you have a house, they do have a regular real estate section, but I don't recommend it for land because it just doesn't work. And and quite frankly, it's kind of clunky anyway right now. That aspect. So, but the miscellaneous field tab works really good. And Nathan, another cool thing about that is every 7 days you can hit a button and it pops it back to the top.
Yeah.
Like 4, 5, 6 weeks. So I like that aspect. I'll usually once a week kind of do an inventory of all my stuff, and if one needs it, I'll shoot it back up there. One thing though about Facebook Marketplace that I get the question, well, do you post your own on Facebook Marketplace? I do. Mainly because it's my personal Facebook page, and I don't, want some stranger getting access to that and seeing messages, and because I have friends from all over that message me on things that it's none of my else.
True.
But so that's on me, which I don't mind it. I mean, honestly, people's like, well, when do you check messages? I do Messenger. One of the first things I do in the morning, I check my Messenger, and I'll answer whatever I have. One thing I do like about it, like if I have a question, if they send me a question, I can't understand it, I can click on the ad and I got my information there. But if I do that, but like if I'm like waiting in line somewhere at the bank or something, I may go in and check them and answer them. I mean, it's not hard to really keep up with.
Right. Yeah, well, I know there's a new version of Facebook launching soon. It's like it's called a UI, user interface, like, layout is changing. It's coming out real soon. They're probably having some people already using it already, myself included. But I will tell you this. In the breakdown, and I actually have my version, which is not in the United States, by the way. I want to make that clear, because as soon as I change my location on Facebook Marketplace, I cannot access United States Marketplace at all. But I do get the European one. So I do get the European Marketplace. And properties for rental, condos for rent, houses for rent, townhouses for rent. And then down in this part of the United States, I don't know if it's on the United States one. Maybe you can tell me. I do see home sales. Do you see that on your side?
It may be called home sales. It's called something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and it forces you to put bedrooms and bathrooms in the ad.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and everything in home sales here, for example, is all like, well, this dummy has something for free. Like, seriously, buddy. But all the other ones are all like regular listed properties. This is a pretty nice one. Anyway, so yeah, all these properties are all sales and not, especially land. There's no section here for land, at all. But I'll tell you what, just real quick, and this is actually kind of going to carry into our conversation next week, okay, about goal setting. And by the way, this property was not a goal. Okay, you know what I'm going to do, Mike? Here's what I'm going to do. I am just going to send it to you for now, but we're going to talk about it, and I will show it next week. Does that make sense? I'm going to send it to you now, and you can look at it, and we can talk about it next week. But when I saw this property, I said, who in God's name? Liz, can you open it up? Can you check?
You said it in Messenger?
I said it in Messenger. I said, who is selling this 7-bedroom, 9.5 bathroom, 17,000 square foot house?
Hey, that's about the size we need for one of our.
But listen, if you look at the 142 pictures that are posted
Yeah.
in this property,
like 14 pictures. It's 142. Oh my God! And it takes up a whole corner of a waterway.
Takes a whole corner. Okay, Mike, I looked at this property and I said, "Oh my God!" Now, interesting enough, if you go back to the records, this property was first listed for was it $2 million? I think it was back in the day, 10 years ago, something like that. I'm just estimating. I'm looking for the numbers right now as I sporadically scroll my screen. Here we go. 2.1 back in 2001. 135 per square footage. Then 6 years later, it jumps up to almost a $20 million house. Okay, just 6 years later, which it never sold at that price, by the way. Anyway, Mike, when I looked at this house, I said, "Who lived here, and what did they do?" So no joke. I went hunting. And I found out who lived there. I found out what the guy does or did, and he's still alive. And thank you, babe. Be verified.
What'd he do?
He actually owns a carpet. He owns a carpet business. Rugs, carpets, tile, linoleum, and all that stuff. And
he's put down a lot of flooring to afford a house like that.
Right? Well, get this. That's when I was like, wait a second. This isn't just your average like rug salesman, right? This isn't just that. I said, this guy had to have some partnerships. So actually, he was the guy regionally that sold carpets, rugs, and all that to Sears.
Really?
Yeah. And and there may have been other companies, but I don't know, and I couldn't dig all that out. But as much information I found out, that was what was there, right? That was what was public, but you had to dig for it. You really had to dig for this information. And then I tried to see if we had any mutual friends. I was like, how do I know this guy? Right? No, but it was really interesting, and this maybe can tie like into next week's No Fear show is, and we'll show this house next week as well. But this property, what maybe what some character traits, what do they have to do to get into that type of property, setting a vision, and also what is it that truly desired outcome that you want. I remember there's a few people that I know that I remember one of them about, maybe 10, 12 years ago. In one of my mastermind groups, there was a guy who had basically a picture of a house like this on his vision board. And he, I think it took him like 6 years or something like that, but he ended up getting a very similar looking property. It was impressive because I had to walk through that guy's property too. I'm like, dude, so he literally showed me the picture on his vision board, and it was literally almost close, like to the same exact picture of what he wanted. And it was really interesting. So anyway, we could talk more about that next week, but it's an impressive house, isn't it?
It's it would do. I could make it work.
You could make it work. Oh my God.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Oh man. All right.
I think my family and your family could live there and still not see one.
Exactly.
You take 8,000, I'll take 8,000.
Right? I mean, it's like insane. Anyway, we'll break this all down. We'll break this property down, and we'll show it off next week, because if anybody wants to buy it, it's for sale.
Nathan wants to represent you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, good stuff. All right, Mike, thanks so much. It's been a great show. And like I said, guys, if you have any questions about what we talked about or looking for some resources, I'll make sure I post them in the comments below. But until next week, Mike, do you have any last words? I got the little beats going on this week in the background.
Nothing except, get out there, market your properties. If you got properties, you can't sell them if they're not marketed. And you can jump through all the hurdles of the flags. We can get you through that.
Yeah, that's so true. Blaze through the flags, people.
Blaze through them.
All right, guys, have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
See ya.
It's time to fire your boss. That's right. You heard me straight. It's time to fire your boss. Check it out. I'm here in beautiful São Miguel, Azores Islands, one of 9 islands. What you're seeing behind me is one of the crater lakes, and there's mountains all the way around. Absolutely beautiful here today. I literally just took a few moments to get off a call with one of our clients who is in the same position, trying to fire his boss. And he enrolled into our coaching program and just wanted to make a big difference in his life. And I know there's a lot of people out there who want to make a difference in their lives and in their families' lives and other people's lives, giving and caring about other people as well. At the same time, you want to make a change in your own life. You want to do something different. You wanted to make an impact in your life, that you want to take your life to that next level, to do things that you never thought or just maybe dreamed of. This is the business for you. 15 years ago when I first started real estate investing, I was broke working 3 jobs, never wanted anything else than just money. That's all I cared about, was just money. That was it, because I was so broke and tired, and I was fed up with the bosses that I had. And one day I asked my manager of the entire store, and I said, "Hey man, how much money do you make?" And he said, $60,000 a year. When I had just come from a real estate event the prior weekend, and they were telling me I could make 6 figures, multiple 6 figures in a year. Immediately, when he told me he made 60,000, I immediately said, "I'm giving you my 2 weeks notice. I'm out of here." He was shocked. He was shocked because I had just, I think a week or 2 earlier, I had become the manager of the men's department in the store. And I worked so hard to get there. It took me months. I had to go through training and all this stuff. But he was shocked. He's like, "What are you talking about? What's up? Why are you not doing this?" And I said, "I found a better opportunity." He said, "What?" I said, "Real estate investing." He's like, "Real estate investing?" He's like, "Don't you need a license?" I said, "No, there's a way I can do it without a real estate license." And he said, "But why are you going to do that? How much money can you make?" I said, "From what I saw, I said 6 figures and above." And he just laughed at me. He's like, "You'll never make that kind of money." Now, why he laughed at me, I'm not sure. Maybe he was embarrassed or shy or whatever. Maybe he thought it was a scam. Either way. But I'll tell you this. Those 6 figures have come true many, many times. If you've been following me, you know my lifestyle. You know I travel internationally. I invest in 3 different countries. And I'm able to not have to wake up or deal with a boss. This is my boss right here. Saying, "Come to me, come enjoy me. Come and have a good time and enjoy nature." That's my boss. The demand of the hills, the demand of the mountains. Oh, it's so difficult. But for the past few years, I've been investing internationally and I absolutely love it. It gives me the opportunity not only to experience new cultures, but also to travel anywhere I want, when I want, with who I want, preferably my family. And they're right over here in the car waiting to go get some ice cream. So we're going to go do that. I just wanted to share this video with you as a reminder that you need to flip the switch. You need to take action in your life. You need to do something different. Otherwise, you'll just keep doing the same thing, waking up to the alarm clock, going to the job that you hate, and doing that repetitively over and over and over again. And if you continue to do that, you'll end up noticing that years will go by, months and moments. You'll miss out on some of the most amazing things in this world, the most beautiful things in this world. So don't take much longer. This is a new year. Don't take much longer to make that change. Even though it's scary, even though it's a challenge, even though it's a hurdle, at times, sometimes it's the biggest thing. Make sure you get a coach and a mentor that can help push you and guide you and help you avoid costly mistakes. You don't want to get into costly mistakes, but you also want to be in the best investment opportunity, the best investment wealth vehicle than anything else, and that's real estate investing. Go out there, make something happen, get more deeper into this business. And I can tell you the truth, when you get deeper, you'll find me. I'll be right there. I'll be by your side.
About to leave. Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for.
Taste the feeling.
Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts.
Yeah, my first check, you guys. Can you see that? $34,000.
You can do this. I believe in you. 2, 3. You can do this. I believe in you. All right, give yourself. Just do it. Just do it.
Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts.
Right, so we made it to the equator. We just there's some girls right there. Sorry, I'm in the way. There's the equator line.
You're gonna love that. It's got a pit in it. This is moonshine from the south. It's got a pit. Isn't that delicious?
What is that? That is nasty.
I don't know what the answer.
Take my
Somebody's
hand,
missing.
we'll
Nathan,
make it
Nathan.
somehow. We can't miss out.